anus shot. And then every time, like, I put this kid to bed, it's because, some lady had double penetration.
Because if that's the inspiration, somehow it'll impact your child?
Well, it's not romantic.
Right,
like, tell me about when
that.
I was made. Well, I went into it's already clinical and Brave New World-y.
Yeah.
It's so Aldous Huxley to begin with. And you're like, and then there was this Portuguese girl, and you could see, and they had, they just, one after the other, they just felt, and then I made you. So she said to me, no porn. And in my mind, I'm thinking, that's what she thinks. I'm going to get in there and I'm going to wreck house. And I go in there and I open the drawer and it's literally, I wasn't kidding. It's Assassins, Dune Buddies. Like, there's a lot of gay porn.
Wow.
And I go back out just because I have to share this joke with my wife. And plus, I want to let her know.
What a good man.
I'm probably going to beat off to this gay porn.
Sure.
Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
They probably do it really well, right? So I tell my wife and I'm laughing. She goes, listen to me. I don't want you looking at any porn. And in my mind, I'm like, why is she cock blocking me? This is my one time. And then she goes, I want you to just think of me and how much I love you.
Wow.
And then she kissed me on the mouth, which might as well have been a blowjob. Because every once in a while, your wife will lay one on you and you go, oh, that's right.
Right.
We used to date.
Yes. Remember the time I really, I was just, God,
and she gave me one of those kisses, and I just went in and I filled it up. And then what I love is when you give it to that nurse, and she goes, was it a completed ejaculate? And you're like, what? She goes, did it all get in the cup? It's like, that's why I'm here.
Right.
I'm not like, what's behind the couch?
Yeah. I was a little here, a little there, a little on the wall. My DNA's everywhere.
I'm playing horse.
I don't think I was asked that question.
My DNA.
Well, let's think about that, too. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to put it in a cup.
Yes, it is.
Well, I mean, it's not like it's a funnel. It's a small cup. It's still
How
the size
bad
of
do you
the
want
urine.
kids?
Well, yeah, I know.
You got 18
There's
kids?
a little bit of work. I've got 5.
5.
There's a little bit of
I have
work to make
2.
sure you hit that cup. All right.
It's a little bit of work to slow your roll.
Yeah.
You can't be like an animal.
Right.
You got to do the more like the gentle, like kissing the back of the kneecaps, nape of the neck style.
I like this. We're getting a play-by-play of this stroke, folks.
You can't just beat it till you hurt your nuts.
And then I slowed it down when I knew it was just about to crown.
Then I came down. Then I became overnight guy. Allison Steele, the night bird with you. That's heart. Barracuda. Boosh. Into the
We'll be
cup.
right back with Boy Dog Pondering.
You bet your baby, but first traffic on the 9s. Here's Koechner. Here's Gerald Tibbins with traffic on the 1s. Gerald.
Listen, we got a SIG alert on the 110. Somebody dropped a bushel of ladders right there. It seems purposeful to me. Shit, man, I'm about halfway through this bottle of wine. What do you expect, folks? I didn't know I was doing traffic tonight.
Gerald, I don't think our listeners knew. This is overnight guy. Gerald, speaking to Gerald Tibbins, our traffic and weather man. I don't think our listeners knew that many ladders was called a bushel.
That's the only thing I can come up with. You know they don't give me any copy.
They don't give you copy.
No. In fact, I don't even know if there's a SIG alert on the 110. I haven't been on the 110 in about 4 years.
Where are you right now, Gerald?
Oh, I'm sneaking around the cul-de-sac. Shit, I'm doing a remote, folks. They didn't even know it. You know, there's going to be traffic. Just plan for it.
You got guys masturbating into cups. Keep your eyes peeled. You don't want to be a part of that business.
Why are you giving me such a hard time about doing the traffic when all you two are doing in there talking about beating off?
So you had 5 kids. And you know what? This is inspiring, though.
We had 4 via surrogacy.
But I think this is very inspiring and very important to people know, because it is what your wife went through is so incredibly horrible. And guys don't understand what that's like unless you're a gelding, unless you're, completely have your nuts taken off to please the emperor. Make him sing higher and amuse me.
Forever.
But when women have, like, their insides taken out, like we have no idea what a mind-blowing thing that is. Like, your lady, the thing that makes you the lady the most, the ability to carry a child, has been surgically removed.
Yep.
But then what do you do? And you guys went and did surrogacy. This is a great story, Dave.
Yeah, it's just the way it happened. Right, it's Dave. You know who I am. We're going to be doing a stage show together.
Yes. You're going to come out of the porta potty in Brea?
And at least 3 movies. At least 3 movies together. I can't wait. And these will be a reality.
How do you choose a surrogate? Is it like an agency?
Yeah, go to an agency. You write your book, your story of what happened, pictures, story, blah, 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 why you're in the need of a surrogate. They actually pick you first. The surrogate is signed up, and a surrogate has to have successfully given birth already. So normally it's a family woman. It's a woman who's married with a child, and this is a way to help them either. In our case, it was to further her education. And so she'd already had a little boy, so it means she successfully gave a live birth. And then you get matched.
Further her education.
Oh, she was going to grad school.
Oh.
And that's why she wanted
So
to do this.
So here's 8 months of my life. I can hit the books, carry your baby, and make a paycheck.
Yep.
Okay.
So it was
I don't want to be cutting down trees with a baby in my stomach.
Right. I'm sure there's as many reasons a woman becomes a surrogate as there are stories of why a person needs one. And so they select you. You go to dinner, or you have a meeting in the office at the agency.
See, that's the part that's weird to me.
Then you go to lunch.
I wouldn't want to meet my surrogate.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's only carrying the baby. She's only providing nutrition. There's no DNA between the surrogate and my baby.
But it's still going to come out of her vagina. Mm-hmm. And, some doctor's going to go, congratulate. And you're going to go, no, over here.
Here's the thing. You have to adopt your child a month before it's born.
We have to adopt your own DNA child.
Own DNA child. Because live birth goes to the mother.
That's right.
So right away, she gets to spend some time with the baby. Then we get the baby.
I don't want her to spend time with my baby.
Yeah,
and I'm not being crass.
I know, but she grew your baby. That human being was.
That's why there's a check in her mailbox. Give me my baby and beat it,
that's
lady.
That's part of it. But that's you're allowed to have whatever relationship you want. But why not have a good one? She carried 3 of our children. This one surrogate. First surrogate we had carried our daughter, and then she was no longer a candidate anymore because she'd already had 5 of her own children, and after she gave us our daughter Margot, the doctors advised her, you shouldn't carry a child again just because, things are wore out down there, inside there.
Old Mother Hubbard, huh?
And now back to weather. Shit, man, it's a nice day. Good drinking weather. All right, back to you, Jay Mohr.
Gerald, I don't think we should be swearing on the air. We keep hitting the dump button.
Hey, guess what? I've been looking for that dump button. What's that? All right, back to prowling this cul-de-sac.
What are you looking for in a cul-de-sac exactly, Gerald? Is there a man hunt on the loose, or
sure, man
prowler,
hunt, woman hunt? I'm the prowler. I hope no one's looking for me. I'm just doing some peeping Tom work tonight.
Ooh, working the peepers for the peeping Tom.
Yeah, I've got several upskirt video sites I provide for.
Speaking of peepers, let's peep our lotto numbers today. Let's go to Jet. I loved all those baloney segues. They have to.
Nice.
Brian Regan's got the best one. Speaking of lotto, there was a lotto crime downtown tonight. They always have some stupid thing. It's like turtle racing at a local bar, and they go, "I'll tell you what's not slow, and that's the president's decision to pass the bill."
Someone has to write that.
I know. The copy for the news.
Yep, that's going to be stomach churning.
You do, but to them, they're in show business. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that's amazing when you go on the road and you see you're in, I don't know, Columbus at the Funny Bone, mm-hmm. and you go do the sports, and then the TV, Good Morning Columbus, and there's Emmys.
Yeah.
There's an Emmy. Do you have an Emmy?
Nope.
I don't. Ernie, any Emmys? And
that's
this guy's got
to get.
He's got 4 Emmys for doing local, hey, Columbus means whale's vagina. For a statistical fact, anchor man. Whammy!
Whammy. I often get asked, when I get there, they'll go, well, where's your hat? They just assume, when I get there that I'm coming as champ kind only, hat, jacket, and hey, we thought it'd be great if you would do our sports as champ. And I go, I can't.
Why can't you, though?
That's proprietary. It's paramount.
Fuck that. Sell the tickets,
do you think I want to?
I think you want to sell those tickets.
Really?
Don't you?
Boy, that would make my stomach hurt.
You think I want to do walking every stop on my train?
But that's part of your act.
Even more so. I'm going to do it in 6 hours. You want me to do it now? You know what I mean?
I guess.
Buy a ticket and come see what I'm doing.
I hope
Paul McCartney joining us on Good Morning Denver. Denver, I understand you had a little something, Paul, called Hey Jude. Why don't you walk us through? Hey Jude. He doesn't, that's why we're in the wrong business.
Why? Because he gets to sing? You don't think he's
because he doesn't have to go on local news. No band has to hit the local news after it's always after a cooking segment. There's so much cooking going on regionally on the news.
Oh.
All right. That is good trout hash. Coming up next, the man that played Champ Kind. Whammy.
Well, you know him as Champ Kind. You don't know his name. You can't pronounce his last name. It's that guy. That's all I hear is like, everyone knows your face, and they go, that guy. Well, that guy is in studio this morning. There he is.
We'll be back with Dave Koechner. Whammy, right, Dave?
Whammy. Is it that hard, Koechner? It's because it's pronounced incorrectly. It should be Koechner. I should have changed the spelling.
No way, dude.
Well, okay.
You be you.
All right.
Because then that surrogate would hand the baby to the wrong guy.
That's right. I can't change the papers
I
now.
want to circle back to this
Let's
because
do it.
this fascinates me. And I think you're very brave to talk about this, and I think it's cool. And it's unfortunate we live in a world where this is brave. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, guys.
Oh, to even talk about that?
Yeah, like we talk about bipolar stuff and
Right.
alcoholism a
Right.
lot on the podcast, and now we're talking about surrogacy, and there's a lot of people, it's hush-hush, and like adoption is like super hush-hush, and it's like, sometimes you can't have a child and you got to go
Right.
through surrogacy. So how are you still friends with with both surrogate ladies?
We're in contact. I mean, but, they recognize, we all recognize, this was a business relationship partially and a personal relationship partially. She's got her own 2 children. She's moved on to her life. She's not near us, geographically. So it's not...
She in state.
Yeah, oh yeah. And she's always welcome in our home. And, we have contact, especially around the kids' birthdays and, holidays and stuff like that. And she'll come down once or twice a year and visit, hang out.
But how much of a trip is that to a surrogate woman that you meet a kid that you carried?
That's got to be, I don't know. I can't really speak to that. That is
That's
great
like playing
question.
God.
Mm-hmm. You're, in a way, certainly.
Like without me, this kid's not having a bat mitzvah
Very true. Very true.
or bar.
Or bar mitzvah, whatever the one's appropriate.
So you
for
had
guys
4
folks.
kids via surrogacy. Her egg.
No, my wife's egg.
That's
Not
what
the
I said.
surrogate.
That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
meant. I'm sorry. Lee's egg.
Yeah, we created 11 embryos that day, used the first 3, got her daughter Margot. They froze the other 8 in 2 pods of 4. So then several years after Margot was born, they thawed out the first group. There were only 3 viable embryos, popped those in the surrogate, got the twins. And at that point, we had 2 boys and 2 girls, and I was like, honey, we're done. We've got a full boat here. That's 2 pair. So we're pretty good. I would raise on 2 pair, wouldn't you? And call.
I would. And now here's what I don't think people realize is that when you have multiples, you have to sit down with your OBGYN and they ask you, you're going to, if it could be 3, 4, or 5, you may have to come to a crossroads where you terminate some of these. Before we go any further,
Right.
are you cool with that? Because I
Right.
can't, as your doctor, allow you to carry 4 people in your stomach.
We are a no termination family and policy, and neither was our surrogate. So that was never going to be an issue.
So if you had 5,
well, we wouldn't. They don't put that many in. Our doctors wouldn't put that many in.
they put in, you said
3.
So if you were going to have triplets,
At the time, it was very rare that they would all take. Now we just
Lee's
have
not a big woman,
Right.
So if you have triplets, that could be very detrimental to her health, and one of the triplets might be completely not really.
Right. Well, here's
now
the
you're
thing.
playing God.
Right.
It's
Yes,
not
you are. Well,
Darwin's inside her.
Do you want to hear the real
God
story?
is
then?
outside of her.
You want to hear that story? We went
do.
through that decision because here's what happened. So for the twins, we introduced 3 embryos. Only 2 took. So we had twins, and this woman who was our surrogate was a smaller gal. Then we had 4. So now we had 4 kids. Then we had the 4 embryos left, frozen still. I was kind of done. My wife's opinion was those are babies. We can't throw those away.
You're frozen embryos. Okay.
So for her birthday 3 years ago.
So I'm guessing Lee is very pro-life.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, here's the story is going to blow your mind. This is when you have to start making decisions. So we thought out the final 4. There was only 1 viable embryo, 1 left. 10 years later, they've been frozen for 10 years. I'm thinking nothing's going to take anyway. Boom, right away we're pregnant. Put it in the surrogate. 3 months in, they want to do an amniocentesis. And I'm thinking, well, my wife Lee was 34 when we pulled her eggs, and I can still show you what I did. And the doctor said, we don't want you to show us that again because you keep doing that every time. Anytime I walk into a doctor's office now, I have an erection and I'm stroking it.
Anybody got a cup?
Anybody need this? Who wants some? Who wants some? Well, I'll just put this in the corner then. This is going to go to waste.
New from Campbell's. Dave's Jizz. Cup o' Jizz.
That's how quick, folks. That's how quick, Jay Mohr. So they tell us there's something wrong with your baby. You need to terminate. We're like,
Because of the amniocentesis.
yes, synthesis. They saw something.
Which, by the way, the listener may not know. When you do amniocentesis, they tell you there's a 20% chance this will cause Down syndrome. So then you have this conversation with your wife, like, well, do we want it? Because if I have a baby with Down syndrome, I want it anyway. It's mine.
Right. Well, it won't cause it, the amnio. That's they're testing for it. That's
No,
why they're.
amnio causes birth defects 10 to 20% of the time.
Oh, okay, you mean doing an amniocentesis?
Right.
I did not know that.
Well, your wife
they
hid that
felt
from
like
you because she knew that you were going to.
Our surrogate did it, and she was not necessarily. She was kind of opposed to even doing the test because we were all like, well, regardless of what's going on, we're not